Dennis Weaver, the only thing that I know about your series is that it's being called an Eastern Western, and I'm not at all sure I could even guess what that is.
Really? I thought it was a Western Eastern.
Oh, all right.
Well, it's basically a guy from New Mexico, a deputy marshal, who gets stationed in New York City. You take the country boy and put him in a very complicated metropolitan kind of environment, and it's rather interesting.
What are some of the conflicts that he runs into?
Well, all of the big city problems and all the complications that go along with a big city, and mostly it's police activities. Anything that the police is involved with, that's what he's involved with, except he approaches the problems a little bit differently. He has a little bit of a natural country or western intuition, which helps him out a lot, and he has also that sort of country charm, which helps him out a little bit. And he also is not suspect because he has a kind of a slow rhythm, and he seems on the surface as though he's not all that bright, you know. But underneath, he's got a steel trap waiting for him.
Is it a plausible situation, Dennis?
Oh, certainly, certainly. He's there to study the metropolitan police methods and to update his own district, which is in New Mexico. So it's very plausible. I mean, it could happen. We stretch it a little, of course, for theatricality.
Who are some of the other people in the cast?
J.D. Cannon has a running part. He plays the chief of detectives in New York City, and Terry Carter is my buddy. He plays a sergeant on the police force in New York City.
You were associated with another deputy marshal for quite a few years that even won for you an Emmy. How does Chester differ from this guy you're playing?
Oh, he differs a great deal. The only similarity is that they're both from the rural section of the United States. This man is not, whereas Chester needed a certain kind of acceptance, this man is a loner. Chester was a follower, this man is a leader. Chester was a watcher, this man's a doer. They're just completely opposite, except for the fact that they're both from the rural section of the United States.
Do you have any regrets at all, or have you had any regrets at all about getting out of Gunsmoke?
No, none whatsoever. I look back on it with a great deal of nostalgia and a great deal of warmth and appreciation for those years. But as of now, this is what I left Gunsmoke for, so why should I regret it?
Will you be doing all of the shooting here in Hollywood?
No. We'll be doing most of the shooting here. We'll go to New York for about a week to do some exterior shooting, and then from there we go to Paris to shoot the 6th show.
Oh.
We'll shoot that around the Eiffel Tower.
Well, that should be a very interesting experience. Have you ever shot in Paris before?
No, I've shot in Rome and in Spain, but I think it should be very interesting to find Deputy Marshal McCloud wandering around Paris with all the lovely mademoiselles and etc.
Yes, his naivete may pay off very handsomely for him in Paris. Do you feel, Dennis, that the 4-in-1 concept is a good one from the actor's point of view?
From an actor's point of view, well, it is in that you don't get overworked. I mean, you know, it's a short season. It's a good concept as far as the network is concerned because they get 4 chances at a hit. To me, it's kind of like an out-of-town tryout for a Broadway show. They're not putting all their eggs in one basket, and I think it's a good idea from their standpoint. It's a fresh idea, at least.
Are you having any trouble with the character relationships or any other sorts of problems that you run into thus far?
I haven't had any trouble at all. I really got my fingers crossed. It's going so well that I just can't believe it. You know, everything is smooth, and the character relationships are beautiful. The casting has been wonderful. The producer is the best that I've ever worked with. Has great taste, and he's also a writer, which helps a great deal. His name is Leslie Stevens, and out of his pen came the words from the mouth of this character, and he did a beautiful job, and everything is lovely.
Dennis, what kind of a commitment do you as an actor have to make? In other words, if McCloud should be a tremendous hit, is it possible that they would want to make a regular series out of it?
Oh, yes, I think that's the idea they have in mind. That's why I say they're not putting all their eggs in one basket, and they have 4 chances at a hit this way, you see. if any one of these shows in the 4-in-1 becomes a big hit, for instance, if McCloud, which is going on first, by the way, if after 6 weeks it goes off the air and all of the people out there write in and say, hey, what happened to McCloud? Why'd you take McCloud off? I'm sure they'll put it right back on. You see.
Within the same season or
Well, it's a
next
possibility that it could go on at mid-season, but certainly next season is what I had in mind, really.
Dennis, thank you for sharing this time with us, and we wish you the very best of luck
I
with
couldn't
McCloud.
have shared it with anybody more lovely. Thank you.
Aren't you nice? Thank you.